It was an utterly clear, not very windy day. I was lost in an area which Miyagi and I had never seen nor heard of. After wandering for about 2 hours... Hey, I know that place.
It seems this is your hometown, Mr. Kusunoki.
Guess when I'm lost, maybe I head this way on instinct. Still, doesn't change that there are vending machines here too.
That's true.
Oh.
A candy store.
I used to go here as a kid. Looks like it shut down a while ago though. This machine, it's been here since the first time I ever visited. Hey, can cats see you, Miyagi?
As you can see, dogs and cats can see me. Not to say that they like me, however.
So you do this for a hobby?
Yes. Are you surprised?
Yeah, but still, you're not so great at it.
Which is why I'm practicing. And isn't that great?
Miyagi, could you show me all the stuff you've drawn?
Well, we should be moving on now.
After half a day exploring my hometown, it happened as we headed for the next town, and I passed in front of the candy store again. Hello. You probably don't remember me, do you? It's understandable. It was about 10 years ago I last came here. But, personally, I remember you very well. When I was 8 or 9, I fought with my mother one night and left home. I hadn't thought ahead much, so I went to kill time at the candy store.
Don't you need to go home?
Having just had a heated argument with a parent, I blubbered something back. And after hearing that, a few hours later, a call came from my parents. When asked if I was over there, he replied,
He is, but let's say he isn't for another hour.
Maybe you didn't think it was a big deal at all, but I think it's thanks to that experience that I can still put my deepest hopes in someone. Or at least, so I've convinced myself. If you've forgotten about me, then I'm sure you've forgotten about Himeno too. I often came to the store with her. Both Himeno and I were black sheep at school, yet, just having her by my side, I could handle any bullying just fine. In the summer of 4th grade, her parents moved and she changed schools. I used her remark about getting together if we hadn't found anyone by 20 to prop myself up for 10 whole years. However, it seems that any fondness Himeno may have had for me turned into a vicious hate at some point. Just what did I do wrong? I kept thinking about it. Then one day, I suddenly remembered the letter I got from Himeno when I was 17. She was never the sort of person to write friendly letters to others, so the moment a letter from her arrived, I really should have realized. Now then, that letter was Himeno's form of an SOS. Let's compare answers. Back then, she must have been seeking my help with that letter. Much like me, when she was feeling cornered, she clung to her past. Himeno's letter wasn't in the time capsule, because she dug it up first, and, reminded of her one and only childhood friend, she sent him a letter. Having failed to notice her intent, I was no longer qualified for that position, and so I lost Himeno. She became hollow, and the moment I realized it, so did I. It's probably a bad place to stop, but that's this gloomy story's end. I'm terribly sorry for making you sit through all that.
Goodbye.
Thank Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Mr. Kusunoki? Mr. Kusunoki,
What?
I'll tell you something good. I just remembered. I've been on this road before, long before I became an observer. If you follow the road a bit more, then make a right turn somewhere, you'll arrive at Starry Lake.
Starry Lake?
The lake I said I wanted to visit before I died. It's what I call it.
Oh yeah, you did tell me about that.
Now, wasn't that something good?
Yeah, it sure was.
Now, listen carefully to what I tell you. I will guide you along. Keep your eyes closed until I tell you to open them.
You don't want to show me until we're right there, huh?
Yes. So long as we're out here, do you not want to see the stars in the best of conditions as well? Now close your eyes. Tell me, Mr. Kusunoki, what if I were to deceive you and lead you somewhere outrageous?
Outrageous how?
Somewhere dangerous, like a cliff or a bridge.
I didn't consider it, and I'm not gonna.
Why not?
Can't see any reason why you do something like that.
Is that right? Stop here, please. Watch your step. And lie down flat. And then, you may open your eyes.
I feel like I understand now why you wanted to see this again before you died.
Don't you?
And we sat looking up at the stars for a very long time. Miyagi, you've lied for my sake, haven't you? Like saying Himeno barely remembered me.
I also had a childhood friend.
Is that the person important to you mentioned before?
Indeed. I once had someone in my life who was to me as Miss Himeno was to you. We could never get accustomed to the way of this world, so we relied on each other, living in a world all our own. On my first day off after becoming an observer, the first thing I did was check on him. I had expected he would be grieving terribly over my disappearance. However, in a matter of weeks, he had all too quickly adapted to a world without me. That was when I realized that in reality, I'd merely been a shackle on him. To be entirely honest, I think I wanted to have made him unhappy. I wanted him to despair and wait for my return. I didn't want to learn the truth, that he could make it on his own. I have not gone to see him since.
And yet you'd still want to see him before you died.
Yes, because I don't know anything else. It's the only thing I can cling to. That's why I can very much understand how you feel. Though perhaps you don't want me to.
Nah, thanks for understanding.
Don't mention it.
Only because today was so tiring. Miyagi dove into the bed. I tried to sneak just one glance at Miyagi, but... I should have wished on a shooting star that things could just go on like this. When I woke up the next morning, Miyagi was gone. Only her notebook remained by the bed.